So first off, you're going to need the shoe. This is an Adidas Forum. The colorway is Orbit Grey. This sold out everywhere. The only place I know to get this is like StockX, or if you find a used pair. So congratulations if you made it past this part of the video. So next, we're going to take the laces out.
I flow just like a semi-automatic. I always stay on top like an attic.
Cool. And then the next step, we're going to take the tag off. So we're going to use this right here. It's called a seam cutter. So I'm going to link that in the description below, and this just helps to get under the threads and cut them at the same time instead of trying to use scissors.
You're just another me, but my heart's the fountain of youth. I got more recipes, so I keep flowing. Forever and ever I keep going. There ain't no stopping me, and you know it. 4 seasons in a year.
Cool. So this is how they looking. They already look a lot cleaner. Next, we're going to remove the straps. On the original, the lines like here. I'm going to mark this out with a scalpel, aka Stanley knife, just so we have the guideline. And then I'm going to cut this out using fabric scissors. I definitely recommend fabric scissors because they're a lot sharper than regular scissors. I'm going to link them in the description below.
Yeah, we could, like the snow, like the snow. Yeah, they're like, grazie. I'm like, prego. Who else do you know is out here spitting his fuego? So
it's going to look like that. You might have to cut a few threads using a seam cutter. So after you've done that, use the scissors. But again, we're going to do the same for this side. We're going to use a scalpel, mark out our diagonal line to try to match up with the other side. And we're just going to cut along that line.
Amongst all them drug dealers, shit, life in the South, you see a madness, but you turn the other way. Don't dare open your mouth, you're just in this for clout. You're just stoked like your name's Peter Crouch, but you're living in doubt. This life you ain't about.
Cool. And then this is what you'll have. Like, as you can see, I think it looks a lot better already. I don't know why they put the strap on those forums, but hey. So next, we're going to get rid of the Adidas stripes. So again, we're going to use the seam cutter just to pick off the threads. We're only going to get rid of the first 2 stripes. I'm going to leave the last one. And then after, we're going to use scissors to cut these off.
Écoute, cette sauce elle est différente. Listen, hey, look, you know.
The thread's like really glued in there, so that you don't really need to pick that out because we're gonna cut this section out anyway. So next, we're just gonna use the Stanley knife, aka the scalpel, this thing right here, and we're just gonna cut out the hole like the original. On the original, there's actually a border around the section, so you don't want to cut it all the way to the edge, but you're going to see what I mean once I've done it. So again, like we did, we're marking out with the scalpel the line we want to sort of cut out. So here you want to cut just past the dots, just so we have that border like I was talking about. But yeah, surprisingly here, the leather was like so soft, like it's so easy to cut through.
I thank the Lord every day when I pray like hallelujah. I'm in your face like booyah, dive in the deep end, swim with the sharks.
Cool, so this is what you're gonna have. This is the leather here. Just gonna neaten up these edges using the fabric scissors.
Flow like a brick, that's what the Rick, they love my stilo. See, I ain't been on the road too tough, but still when it ends, I'm a G though. Bev gang southeast on a map, back in ends, I'm a non-song hero. Still remember the days back in 05 when I was a kid.
Cool, so here's what I meant by the border. As you can see, there's edges still on the hole. I noticed that was on the original, so I just did it exactly the same. And it probably helps with like durability when we're gonna thread around it as well.
Praise the Lord, at least you blessed us.
Cool, so now I'm just gonna do the same on the other shoe as well. I'm just gonna speed through that.
I thank the Lord every day when I pray like hallelujah. I'm in your face like booyah, dive in the deep end, swim with the sharks. I'm in your face like booyah, says that I bet yeah, I gotta sue you. Get on my stilo. Ooh, check out the weight.
Alright, so next you're going to need this thing here. It's called a step drill. I'll link this in the description below. As you can see, it's numbered. I think it goes from like 3mm to like 12mm. We're going to use this to drill the top 4 holes. As you can see in the original, there's a rope in those holes. So you're also going to need a drill to use this, obviously.
Charged up.
By just looking at the rope, I could tell it's an 8mm rope. So this hole is going to need to be about 8/9mm. So you just drill up to that point on the step drill. And again, you only want to do it for the top 4 holes.
Just price. You could wear Gucci, you could wear ice cream, I could wear Primark, still look more icy. Yeah. Cause I could starve for days. Could wear the same thing twice. And it turned different ways.
So next we're going to do the threading. So as you can see in the original, there's like thread that goes on the edges and in the lace holes.
Ooh.
So this is what you're going to need. This is yarn, aka wool. It's not the exact same color as the original custom, but yeah, it's gray, it's close enough. So I'm just going to use this. You can use whatever color you want.
Steal up. Check out the way. Look at the kilo.
So because this is quite thick, we're going to use a hand needle because this has a bigger hole that you can fit the thread through. I would have used a sewing awl, but it's just way too small to fit the yarn through it.
Taking the urine, taking the...
You probably want this thing here as well. You don't necessarily need it, but I recommend it. It's called a thimble. So that just goes on your thumb. So when you're pushing the needle through, you have something protecting your hand because it's very tough to get through the leather, basically. Put a guide hole first on the outside. So I just poke this through, and then I'm going to go back to the other side and thread it through the correct way. So like I said, it is very tough to get through the leather. So I put a mat under the shoe, and then basically I use the mat to press the needle into the shoe. I also use pliers to pull it back through because it's almost impossible to do that with your bare hands. So I recommend those as well. Then I tie a knot on the end of the threads. So when we pull it all the way out, it's not going to come out. The rest is self-explanatory. I'd recommend doing guide holes for where you need them so you know exactly where you're threading, and always look back at the original custom so you can see the direction of the thread, because if you notice, it's like quite diagonal.
I'm about to reload.
So yeah, the threading, self-explanatory. It's just a basic in and out. I use the same technique you use when you use a sewing awl. Out, in, you put a piece of thread in the back, and when you pull it out, it locks, and then you keep going along like that. But yeah, if you don't know how to do that, just search a video like how to use sewing awl, or if you want me to make a video on that, let me know. So I'm not gonna lie, this is probably the most difficult part of this shoe. It just takes such a long time, and it's so difficult to get that needle through the leather. The rest of the custom's pretty straightforward, but yeah, this is quite difficult.
You got me pushing like Django. You got me pushing like Django.
So yeah, this is how they're looking. Yeah, I think it looks quite cool. That's how the inside looks. As neat as I could get it, so yeah. Next, we're gonna do the lace holes. So we're gonna do kind of the same thing. You want to thread it through, tie a knot on the end. I would recommend about 3 or 4 knots, just so the knot is big enough that it doesn't come out. Gonna pull that all the way through, and then what you want to do is hold the rope kind of to the side, and then we're gonna thread back through. And then when we thread back through, you're gonna basically pull that all the way down, just so there's a bit left like this. And then we're gonna tie a knot again on this one. I'd recommend probably cutting it a bit wider, not as small as I did, because it's super difficult to tie a knot. So yeah, I even put the needle in here just to get more room to be able to put that knot in. And then just pull that back out so it sticks out. And yeah, that's pretty much how you do it. So now I'm just gonna do the rest of them, and I'm gonna speed that up.
You got me pushing like Django. You got me pushing like Django. You got me pushing like Django. You got me pushing like, I don't even know the feels anymore. I don't even know the bed anymore. I don't even know the
So you only want to do this up to the holes that we drilled. Don't do it in the holes that we drilled, because that's for the rope. So yeah, this is how it looks. Yeah, I think it looks pretty cool. This is how it looks on this side. So for this side, obviously in the original image, we can't really see what he's done on this side, but from looking at it, I can see the thread goes over the leather. So I'm just guessing he's looped it in each of the holes. So we're going to do the same thing, thread it through, tie a knot to make sure it don't come out, and then in each hole you want to loop it twice, and then obviously go up the holes as you do that, and just keep looping it in each of the holes. Or you can do what we done just now on the other side as well, but looking at the original image, this is what was done.
No joke, ain't no joke. Take me for jokes. No, you can't take me for jokes. Spilling that pack, then you know it's gonna blow. Oh, that's gonna blow.
Cool, so that's that part done. Yeah, I think now all we have left to do is add the rope and the strap on the bottom of the shoe. So here's the rope you're gonna need. This is an 8mm rope. I'll link it in the description below. This is a 1 meter, I think. So yeah, you're gonna need 2 of these for both shoes. And then I'm still gonna cut this down as well because I think it's too long. So to help you get the rope in, make sure that ends are taped tightly so it gets as thin as possible, and then you can twist the rope to help get in. That's what I did here basically. Yeah, and that's pretty much it, man. On the original custom, the guy, what do you call it, he didn't tape the ends, so that means the end of the rope is like tasseled, and then he tied a knot before that so the rest of the rope doesn't tassel as well. You can do that, but I prefer this like clean tape cut, so I'm gonna leave mine like this. So the last part would be this strap here. You guys don't need to do that, but I'm gonna do it just, you know, to complete this custom. I feel like I might as well do all of it. So yeah, I'm gonna do the other shoe first, speed through that, then I'll show you guys how to do that if you want to do that part also.
Lonely on mine, set on my sights, giving no signs. No sleep on mine, all in the mind, all in the mind, yeah.
Now we're gonna move on to the material. This is what you're gonna need. I'm gonna link this in the description below. This is a cotton, canvas cotton or something like that. So you're gonna need these pins. And basically we're going to neaten up the edges on this material. So on both of the edges we're going to fold it like you can see me doing here, pin them down, and then sew it. So you want to do the same for both sides of the material. So then I like put it back on the shoe. So when I fold the other side, I know like how narrow I want to make it. On the original custom, it's kind of, it sits between like the stitches and just above the bottom of the shoe. But yeah, man, I'm not gonna lie, like this custom is crazy for the guy who made this. Like this is like the amount of details and like the layering, especially of this material here, is like, yo.
Right now, tell me what you mean right now, how it's gonna be right now. Tell me what it means right now, tell me what you mean right now.
Cool, and this is how the back looks. I'm not gonna lie, this material kind of reminds me of the Yeezy 350 material, man. The thing they use on the back of the shoe. So yeah, I actually just grabbed the Yeezy and was like, let me see if it's the same material. It's actually not the Yeezy material. The line goes from top to bottom. These lines are diagonal. But to be honest, I feel like this material matches the Yeezys a lot better. Like, so yeah, I really like this material actually. But anyway, lastly, what you want to do is fold the end as well. So we're going to neaten that up. So same thing, fold, pin, sew. Cool, so that's done. I think that looks super clean. I like how the color matches the sole as well. So we've got that part done. Next, there's another layer that goes on, so you're going to need another piece of this fabric, but this one is going to be more narrow, so we're going to cut this down. So to do this, I just get a ruler and a pen and just mark out what I want to cut basically, and then we're just going to sew this down the center. And then again, I'm just using fabric scissors. That gives you a clean cut, and you know, the edges aren't too rough. So like we did before, you want to lay this in the middle, pin it down, and then just a straight stitch down the middle. So that's how that's looking. And then I think so basically in the original, there's rough edges on this as well. So the edges are already fraying. So if you want to make them rougher, you kind of just pick at it. But I'm going to leave it like that because, yeah, I can't be bothered to do that. So now I'm just going to lay it round. I've done it quite long, so I'm just going to cut it where it needs to be cut. And then again, I'm going to fold it at the ends, pin it down, sew it.
Lose control, crips and hates, back here again. Betting lost, I get lost, never again.
Cool. So that is that. So I'm going to do the same for this one. Fold the ends, going to cut it down to the same size.
You saw us back again. You ain't back again.
Boom. So that's the two of them together. We're going to add one last layer to this. Yeah, I know, I can't believe it too. There's so many layers on this. This is the last layer. So we're going to remove this middle part that we put in, and we only need the back part. And this is going to be where the logo sits. So I'll put it back on a shoe for measurement purposes. So I'm cutting it roughly by eye to where the original was done. So this is basically the part where the VAL logo goes. If you guys want to know the type of print, I'd say it's like a DTG print. It's definitely not embroidered. It's flat on the material. So then we're going to sew this back onto the main strips that we have. You need two of these. One edge, the edge we folded, we're going to sew a straight line. One of the edges we don't fold, we're going to do a zigzag stitch. And yeah, this is how it looks. So that's both of them. Make sure you've got them the right way around. They're obviously they're two opposites because we got a right and left foot. So these would just go on like this. To stick these down, I would say use double-sided tape. And then if you really want like extra stick, you could use super glue. You can't sew these because it's on the sole, so that's the main thing I would think that you would use. So these are my two pieces here. I'm just gonna put my own writing on here. Obviously Heartfelt Av, that's my thing, that's my Instagram. I'm probably gonna go get this embroidered. They take a few days to get stuff done. So in this video, I'm probably not gonna have them embroidered because I want to upload it on time. But if you guys want to see the final thing, go follow me on Instagram. I'm probably gonna post it in my highlights there, or I might post it in my YouTube posts section. But yeah, that's pretty much a wrap, man. Now I'm just gonna show you guys what these look like on feet. And yeah, I hope you like these as much as I did. Shout out to Val, super hard custom. And I want to emphasize, this is not my design. This was created by Val Kristopher. Val, if you watch this, hit my line. We can work. You know, I got a brand too, so we definitely need to collab. But yeah, I'm gonna see you guys in the next video. Bow.
Feeling like I was already chose. Hard like 100 round drums. Small like Ross. You already know my runs. Fire me up like a booth. Baby, don't mind you choose. I'ma stay tight, no noose. So long I'm here with you. Oh, offshore taking cruise.